Hi, welcome to this T-Tech video. I will present to you an overview of the new Work Planner Perceptive app. The Work Planner app is a user-friendly app that replaces the old Work Planner Java applet. It lists all unassigned, assigned and overdue tasks of your team, allows you to manually assign, displays your team allocation and availability, and also enables the supervisor to easily manage the task allocation for his team. Here we have some basic access information. To use the new Work Planner app, you need to have the platform at least on 3.6.0.3 version. And you also need to install the 10.6.0.2 application fixpack. The Work Planner can only be used by users that are supervisor of at least one workgroup. The next two slides just summarizes the security groups and licenses needed to access the Work Planner app. The Work Planner app has three main use cases. In the next slides, I'll drill down and demonstrate for you each one of them. The first use case is to maintain the unassigned tasks before assigning them to individuals. On the main page, the supervisor can make some changes to unassigned tasks, like change the planned start and end dates, the duration, and task priority. Now I will demonstrate to you how we can access the Work Planner app. I am logging with a user that is a supervisor of 3 workgroups. So the first thing the application displays on the top is the workgroup that you want to work on. If I am the supervisor of more than one workgroup, it will enable and display a drop down so I can select which team or group I want to work on. In this case, I'm working on this electric work group, but if I want to change to another work group, I can just click. You can see that I don't have any unassigned task, but the number of members that I am supervising, it's much more than the other work group. So if I come back to the electric work group, the next section on the application is where the application displays the work tasks in the left and the people on the right. It displays the task and people availability by week. So currently, when you open the application, it will display the current week. And the tasks that are being displayed are the tasks that are planned to start on the week that is selected here. The user can change the week. If I want to see the tasks that were planned to start in the last week, I can just click here the button. Here in this case, I don't have any unassigned task planned that was planned to start on that week. And by default, when I change the week of the tasks, it will also change the week of the availability for the people. So what I am seeing here is the availability of my team on this week. If I click the tab to see the assigned tasks, I will see all the tasks that are assigned and were planned to start on this week, on the week that I have selected here. Here in the people, we can see the capacity or the availability information for each member of my team. The first number represents the planned work hours, so the number of hours that he is planned to work on tasks. The second number represents the number of the hours from the person's calendars that he is presumed to work on that week. So Albert Einstein is presumed to work only 16 hours on this week, and the others are presumed to work 40 hours. And the last information is the number of tasks that are allocated to each of the members of my team. So I see that my team is very free in the moment. Just one has one task, and I can do some maintenance on the tasks before starting assigning those tasks to the members of my team. So if I go to the next week, I can see that I have no work task unassigned planned to start in the next week. But if I want, I can change or select one of those tasks and say that now this task is not planned to start on this week, but it will start on April 30, for example. I click done, and that's it. If I go to the next week, now I can see that that task is planned to start on that week. Also, I can change the duration. If I, for any reason, realize that the time estimate is wrong, or overestimated or underestimated, I can just change to the correct number. In the exact example, I am saying that the time estimate for this task will take 12 hours. And the last action that I can do in the task is to change the priority. So I can select any of the available options here and just click and it will change the priority of that task. If you have a large set of tasks or people, you can use the search input to filter the task list or the people list. Both search allows the user to enter some phrase, and that will display all the fields that the user can filter by. On the task list, he can filter by all the fields that are visible on the task list, including the building, floor, space, name, descriptions, service class, and etc. So if I want to see only the tasks that has a service class named appliance, I can just check it, click done, and I can see only that. And I can add more criteria if I want to restrict the result more. So if I want to see only the tasks that have the service class and also a specific priority like low, and I can restrict it more. And the same applies to the people. That allows the user to search by the name and also by the label class of the member. Like so, we can just select anyone by name or by label class, and it will filter. If I want to clear the search, I can just click this button and I can see the whole list again. Let's now talk about the main use case of this application. The use case is the task assignment. The supervisor can, using the application, manually assign multiple tasks to one or more people in his team. He can drag and drop the task on the people that he wants to assign, or he also can select the tasks and select the people and click the assign button. I will now demonstrate how the user can assign tasks to individuals. In the main page, the user can see all the tasks that are unassigned. We have three options here: the unassigned, the assigned, and the overdue tasks. So if the user is in the assigned tab, all the tasks are unassigned, and he has two options to assign this task to any person in his team. The first option is he can just select any task, click here, and drag and drop the task on any of the members. When I drop the task, the application will automatically assign that task to the selected hovered person. In this case, Now this individual has one task assigned to him. Another option is that I can select multiple tasks. I can just drag and drop, or instead of using drag and drop, I can just select the task that I want to assign, and also select the people. So I want to assign it to Albert Einstein and to Copernicus, and click the assign button on the top right. So here it's saying that I have 2 tasks selected and 2 people selected. If I click assign, it will assign the 2 tasks both to Albert Einstein and Copernicus. So you can see that both has 2 tasks assigned to them. You can see now that my unassigned task list is empty. As a supervisor, I can click the assigned tab, and that will show me all the tasks that are currently assigned. When I am with this tab selected, it will behave a little bit different. So when I select a task, the people that are assigned to that task will be highlighted on the right. So, and I cannot select more than one task. So I can select this one, and it will show who is assigned, and for the same here. And I have 2 options to change the allocation. The first one is I can add one more people. I can say that Jane, I want to assign also Jane to this task, and click assign. And after that, it will have 2 people assigned to this task. But also I can just remove some person from the allocation. So if I don't want to Copernicus to be assigned anymore to this task, I can just click unassign, and after that only Albert Einstein will be assigned, you'll be allocated to that task. Every time you do an action, the application will give you a feedback using a toast message on the bottom left. You can see here. The last tab that we have here is the overdue. It displays all unassigned and also assigned tasks that has passed its due to date. So it's the planned end date is in the past, so the supervisor can take more attention to this and maybe allocate more people, or move the allocations, the task to different people, so we can try to complete this task as soon as possible. When we are in the assigned tab and we remove all the persons that are assigned to that task, for example, this task has only one person assigned to it. If I remove, that task will become unassigned again, so it disappears from the assigned list and it returns to the unassigned list, like here. And here the user or the supervisor can start the process again. The last use case is when the supervisor wants to manage his team assignments. He may set the date each assignee will start working on the task, change how many hours each assignee will work, and also assign more people to a specific task. When the user is on the main page, you want to open the team assignments page. He can check the list of people on his team, and he can click on any member to go to the team assignments page. So when he clicks this button, the expand button, the application will open a new page, and that on that page he can see again all the users and his respective availability information. But when there is one member selected, we will display all the tasks allocated to that person. In this example, Copernicus has one task assigned, and something that is interesting is that in the previous page we have a week basis view. So when we assign a task to a person, the task is assigned to the first workable day on that week. In this example, the task is planned, he is allocated to Copernicus, and the plan is that he will start work on that on Monday. Even if you have multiple tasks like Jane, all tasks are assigned to start on the first workable day. And when the supervisor comes to this page, he can change the allocation date and also the allocated time for each task and for each member. When he clicks the edit assignment button, he can see all the people that are allocated to that task, and he has the option to remove anyone from that. And he can see that some people will start working on 22, but others in different date. So each member or each person that is assigned to a task can have different allocation dates. And if he wants to change the allocation date of a specific person, he can just click the date and say Jane will start working on that on 24. If I want to apply that to all members, to our assignees, I can just check this box, and everybody that is assigned to this task will also start to work on that date. If I want to change only for the selected person, I uncheck it and click done. You see now that he has some tasks that will start to work on Monday, and this task will start on Wednesday. And he can also make some adjustment to the allocated time. If he thinks that he have multiple people working and not all the persons will work at the same duration, he can change. He can say that Jane will work only for 4 hours, and if he try to go to Copernicus to the same task, he can say that he works only for 10 hours. So each assignee will have different allocation dates and different allocation times. From here, we can also change the task priority. If I want to make it a higher priority, I can just click and change. Every action that I made, there is a feedback from the application on the bottom. If I want to change the persons that are assigned to a task, and I can click the edit assignment, I have the option to remove anyone. In this case, now I have only 2 persons assigned to this, and the change that I do is also reflected here. If I click add, it will display all the members on my team that is not yet assigned to that task, and I can select another member, for example, and click done, and that will add Enrico to the task. The Work Planner app gives the supervisor the option to undo the last 3 actions done during the current session. Any action made can be undone. Changes done in one page cannot be undone if the user navigates to another page. Let's now demonstrate how the undo works. So when I log into the application, the undo button is disabled. That's because I haven't made an action so far. But if I change something on the screen, like if I want to change the priority from low to high, after the action is completed, the action button is enabled. So if I click here, it will return to the previous value. Also, if I change this or assign this task to an individual, like I want to assign it to Albert Einstein, it is assigned, and I can see that he has one task assigned and the button now is enabled. If I click here, it will undo the action and the task will appear again here as unassigned. If I made many changes, like I want to change the time estimate from 3 to 6, I'll change the priority from low to medium, and I will change the blender start from 22 to 25. So I made 3 actions, and I can undo all those 3 actions. So the first action to undo is the last one, that will undo the change that I made to the plan at the start. You can see it returned to the previous value. Now it will change the priority, and now you change the time estimate. After that, all change that I made, I cannot use the undo anymore. If I change something on this page, I cannot undo that if I navigate to a different page. So the undo is available or is specific to the page that the user is working on. So here I cannot undo the last action that I did on the previous page. And also I can undo the actions that I made for here in the team assignments. If I want to remove Jane from here, I click Jane to remove Jane, and you can see that he has 2 tasks. So I click here. Now she has only 1 task assigned and she is removed from here, but now the undo button is enabled. When I click, we have that she has 2 tasks, and the edit assignment also displays Jane here. The assignment process has some steps that are asynchronous. So if I add someone like Albert Einstein, you can see that I cannot remove. If I try to undo, right after adding, it will give me an error because it will say that the assignment is not complete, so you cannot undo. So if that happens, you can just wait some time and wait for the asynchronous process to complete. And after that, if you click the undo button, now it was removed, or the assignment action was undone, and Albert Einstein is not assigned to this task anymore. The last topic is about the work planner responsive design. The work planner app was implemented to adapt its design to run on a small device like mobile phones. However, when running the work plan app on a small device, the team assignments page will not be available, but the supervisor will be able to assign or unassign people to tasks and to see what tasks are assigned, which tasks are unassigned, and which tasks are overdue. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time.